So today's story, we're reading about Jesus walking on water. And so it's interesting. Jesus sends the disciples in this boat away from this crowd. It's thought maybe this crowd is sort of becoming, they're trying to take Jesus and maybe make him king by force. And so Jesus dismisses the crowd. He sends the disciples away, and then he goes up on the mountain to pray. And meanwhile, the disciples, they're in the boat, and the wind has come up, and it's late at night, and they're beating against the storm, and they're exhausted, right? They're facing opposition. And Jesus is not there. Jesus is up on the mountain, which is a way that we all face in life. We feel this, right? This is real. We can relate to this because there are always times in life where we're facing all this opposition. It's late at night. We're exhausted. And we're wondering, where is God? And what Scripture tells us is Jesus is up on the mountain and he's praying and he sees them. And so he comes to them. And it takes a miracle to come to them, but that doesn't stop God. Because God is a miracle worker who will come to us. And so Jesus walks on the water and he comes to them in the boat, and they're afraid their eyes deceive them. And even though they know Jesus, they're certain it's a ghost. And so Jesus speaks to them. He gives them a word to bring them peace. Just as the same way that Scripture can be a word to us, that when our eyes and our hearts deceive us and when we're afraid, Scripture can speak to us and give us peace. And then Jesus gets in the boat and the winds calm down. And it reminds me of the story from Jonah, right? Jonah, in the midst of a storm, is thrown into the sea as an offering. But that doesn't happen to us. Even when we flee from God, even when we sin, we don't have to be thrown into the waters because Jesus willingly offers himself into the watery chaos so that the ultimate storms of life may be calmed. And that's the truth of the gospel, that he comes to us miraculously when we're facing opposition, and he offers himself as a sacrifice into the greatest storm we will ever face so that we may be safe. Thanks be to God.